So, so, hey y'all, welcome back to my podcast, I Like It Raw, where we talk about anything raw, taboo, and real. Just getting into things that people do not want to talk about. Ooh-wee. My name is Mikala Leinani. I am the owner and the creator, founder, whatever you want to call it, of this podcast, I Like It Raw. And while it has been quite a while, it feels so great to be back. Oh my goodness. For those that has been hanging on by a thread, thank you so much for holding on. Man, the last time I talked to y'all, I was pregnant. My son is about to be 2 years old, and it's just insane how quick time flies. I've been wanting to get back into like podcasting and, doing my due. But honestly, my challenge was making sure that I had everything right. I wanted my aesthetic to be perfect. I wanted everything to be clean, the cute background, the podcast look. But the area that I created to do that, I don't get enough privacy to be able to do what I want to do here, which is talk to y'all and just get down real raw. Having a kid, it changes things. It really does. Like I said, my son is about to be 2 years. He is just busy. He's super, super busy. From what I hear, having a boy is more, more, more work than having a girl, to be quite honest. The boys are busier. They're getting into everything they want to do and climb on everything. My son has been walking since 9 months. So, yeah, it's been something. It's been something. Like I said, I haven't talked to y'all since I was pregnant. So it's been quite a journey. I really don't even know where to start. But just to thank you guys again for holding on. And, people have been asking, are you bringing your podcast back? Are you bringing it back? When are you going to bring it back? I was actually talking to my homeboy, June Shelton. Shout out to June. Him and I just did a movie together called Mirror of Deception. Please go check it out. It is on Tubi and Amazon Prime. Coming to more soon, you know what I'm saying? But he got on me about it. He asked me the other day, he's like, so when you plan on bringing your podcast back? And I said, sir, I haven't brought it back yet because I don't have the studio look and aesthetic and blah, blah. He's like, and that sat with me heavily. Why is this person just circling the block? That really sat with me because this really put into perspective how we sit on things and we wait for things to be perfect before we make our move. And that's an issue because we hold ourselves back from doing so much, from, just achieving our goals, because we're waiting on a certain thing to happen. We're waiting to get that certain place, that certain piece of equipment for certain, things to just line up when things don't always just line up. You just got to do it. I actually posted on my TikTok the other day, just start posting that content, record with whatever you got, use what you have and start. Because the thing is, a lot of times people get equipment. I know for me personally, I could speak from experience. I got many different pieces of equipment. Like, oh yeah, this is going to make my content better. Oh yeah, this is going to sound better. Oh yeah, the lighting is going to be perfect. And I did all this hoping it would motivate me to make the content that I wanted to make. But I would get motivated when I got the item. I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be cool. This is going to be cool. But the thing is, motivation does not produce consistency. And motivation is fleeting. Sometimes you aren't motivated to go to the gym, right? But you want that body, right? So on those days when you don't feel like going, what are you going to do? Either you going to not go or you going to go, regardless you want to or not. And that's the same thing when it comes to this content creation thing. You have to just do it. You have to just do it. Don't worry about having the highest grade of, technology equipment, because people that have high grade equipment still might produce trash content and still not get nowhere with it. But if you really are providing something that's not tangible, but something that gives value to people, you'll still get the views. I feel like a lot of times we put value on the items that we're using and not on what we're giving out. Ooh, come on, message. Talk to me now. We putting value on the items that we're using, but not the message that we have to give out. And that's so sad, because it's like, how do you expect to garner this audience, to gain these viewers, if you don't have anything that's worth watching? You can have the best camera and still not have anything worth recording. And that's where it just came to terms like, okay, maybe my aesthetic isn't as aesthetically pleasing. I'm in my truck, love my truck. I got my dream car, y'all, one of them, and I'm just so grateful. But I'm in my truck. I got big back in the back right here, this big old car seat. You feel me? Like, I got that there. I don't know if that's something everybody wants to see. I don't know if it's gonna get the clicks, because the aesthetic isn't giving. Oh, I'm in a podcast studio, and that is the problem. I was too concerned about looking like everybody else, trying to follow this trend, trying to follow this aesthetic that everybody was putting out, hoping that it was going to get me what they got. And that's the thing. I'm not them. I don't need to sit around and wait to be able to do these things and have these things and have this location and have this aesthetic before I start dropping that content again. Because even when I was first podcasting, what did I have? I had my monitors in the back and a nice LED lamp that was giving off different color light. And I was working with that. Background still wasn't all the way aesthetically pleasing, but I guess I felt like it was better than this. But what's really funny, y'all, is I wanted to start my podcast in the car. Because back in the day, I used to smoke that dro. Used to hit that reefer, you feel me? I used to tooey. So I would be out in the car smoking, and my mind would just get to going, and I would just start talking. And it was just coming off so smooth, because, sometimes when you smoke, your mind just gets to going. It's not the same for me now. I haven't smoked in a long time. Don't really plan on going back. But it was like car convos. And I wanted to start my podcast off in the car, because this is where I would get to thinking and where I would just get to talking, and the ideas would just flow. And so with the conversation. So honestly, it's a full circle moment, because here I am back in the car where I wanted to start my podcast in the first place. And I think I did start my podcast in the car, actually. I'm not sure if it was on camera, because back in the day, Spotify was not allowing you to post video. So it was just audio. But now Spotify allows you to post the video with the audio. So I would record the video, audio, whatever, but I would just remove the video, or I would just take the audio out of the video and post that on Spotify and, all the podcast places. But now it really is a full circle moment to be back doing this in the car where I started, and to have moved up. leveled up because when I started, I wasn't in my dream car, but now I am. And the thing is, a lot of stuff has went on. Man, like I said, I did a movie. I am the lead in that movie. Again, a mirror deception. I play Keisha. Like, the movie is dope, so make sure you go check it out. But I've done a movie where I had my first lead role. And that was like a turning point because I finally felt like I wasn't being typecasted anymore. And I was given the opportunity to show the range of my talent. Because when you become an actress, if any of y'all want to be actors or actresses out here, you do have to be mindful on the movies that you do, the roles that you play, because sometimes, like for example, a girl with a big booty, they want you in a stripper in every movie. Sometimes you'll typecast yourself because it's like, oh well, I seen her as a stripper in this movie. Maybe she could be a freak bee in this next movie. Maybe she could do something along the lines of doing this in this next movie. And it's all the same type of role, just different titles. And you do not want to get typecasted into that. And that was one of my fears because, as y'all know, I play Honey in the Dirty D. And, shoot, Honey, she be grimy, but I can play her part so well because, it's just, it's easy do. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I was like, okay, when I'm looking for other roles, are they all going to try and make me like a Honey? And ain't nothing wrong with Honey, but I just don't want to play Honey in multiple different movies. You feel me? So having the opportunity to have my talent looked at, to feel seen, it's just big. It's big. And it all kind of just circles back to like not waiting until everything's perfect to do something. Because even at that time when I first started doing that movie, Lord, I was not ready. I had my baby. My baby, I think he was a little over 1 year old, or he just was about to turn one. And it's like I wasn't out looking for nothing. I'm like, yeah, I want to get my body back. I want to just get my head right and blah, blah, blah. But when the time is right, the time is right. The opportunity was presented to me. The director, writer, and producer reached out, asked me to submit a audition. I did. He even asked me to tweak some of my audition. He's like, I want things said more like this. I want this said like this. And I resent it to him, and I got the role. And I was blessed because he seen me in parental discretion advised. And he was like, I feel like she can do the character work that I need. And I'm just grateful, again, just to have had that opportunity for somebody to see me for more than some of my past work. And that's huge. So with me not even being ready, Spirit said, I'm ready. We're going to present you with this opportunity. Don't fumble the ball. Don't be waiting because you ain't got your mom bod off or whatever. So it just all comes full circle. Don't wait, y'all. Just go out there. Just trust and what is for you is going to be for you no matter where you're at. Especially with acting, like you're going to get a lot of no's before you get some yeses. And me, even now to this day, I don't do auditions. I never really was an audition type of person, but I have been blessed to have roles kind of just given to me. Like the cards fall where they need to at the time that they need to. And I'm overly grateful for that. Man. But if y'all are waiting on doing something, please don't wait. There's like I said, there's so many people that have so much money, that have all the equipment, all this and that, but they don't have the eye. They don't have the message. They don't have the voice. They don't have the talent. But you have that. And just because you don't have the most expensive equipment doesn't mean that you shouldn't showcase your talent. And I believe if we had more people that would be willing to stop waiting until they feel like they have it all together, because you'll never have it all together. You know, you might think you have it all together, and then next thing you know, oh, wait a minute, maybe I should just wait until I get this. You'll always find a reason to push something back. But that's the thing. You can't be pushing something back because you low-key scared. And yeah, I know people will be like, oh, I'm not scared. There's a part of you that's there and scared of that judgment. And that's kind of what held me back from coming back to my podcast, and really just having this conversation with y'all, because the aesthetic, the judgment with the aesthetic is what was low-key holding me back. But my thing is, the aesthetic doesn't matter. I also want to show that I'm a real life person doing real life things in a real life place, making stuff happen, making it shake, you feel me? The thing is, I don't care for the aesthetic life. I don't care for everybody showing off these luxury cars, this luxury house. Everybody got the same marble countertops and the same white or gray cabinets and wood floors. Like, I want something that shows character. And that's the thing, it's not perfect. And that's the beauty of it all. Nothing is going to be perfect, but it has character. And when it has character, my baby, that's something that can't be replicated. So me coming in here, yeah, there's a lot of other people that might be doing podcasts in their cars or whatever, but I can't be replicated. The way I talk, the way I look, my cadence, how I am, who I am, my spirit, my energy, my being cannot be replicated. So why not put out who I am, as I am, where I am, doing what I do right now? Why wait? Why try to confine myself into other people's aesthetic? Why try to do that? I don't need this cute background for me to really get down raw, real, and taboo with y'all. Talking about things that people don't like to talk about. If anything, when I'm getting down and dirty like that, shouldn't I give you a little bit of a gritty background? Shouldn't I give you the real? And this is what real looks like. This is my reality. And reality always don't look like a marble countertop and wood floors. Sometimes real look like sitting in your driveway, getting in your car, getting on this mic. Sometimes real might be you getting under the hood of that car and getting your hands dirty. That's what it is. You gotta be comfortable with where you at and start where you are at. And if you want to progress, make sure you're doing it how you want to, not trying to follow the trend of how everybody else does their things. Like, it's a copy paste world out here, y'all. We have to defy. We have to defy. How do you expect your stuff to blow up, yourself to stand out? How do you expect that to happen if you keep trying to be a copy and paste? The person that you already copying already did that. So no, you ain't gonna blow up doing exactly what they doing, looking exactly how they look, trying to talk how they talk and be how they be. They already got that under wraps. If they blew up off of that, it's already done, boo. Find who you are. Be comfortable with who you are. Do what you do, where you want to do it, how you want to do it. You just got to get to it. Look, I'm over here dropping these rhythm bars. You hear me? Him dropping this rhyme, okay? But for real, though, like, and it's funny because I recorded an episode yesterday. Didn't like it. And here I am. But today, oh my gosh, it's hitting today. And that's the beauty of it. You just got to come out here and you just got to do it. I was trying to rush me. I'm like, oh, well, fine. Maybe I'll just get out there and do it. But today, something was different. The energy was different. I said, yeah, I like the sun, but I also like the set. I love when the sun sets. I love when it has that calm vibe, that that cozy in the car vibe where I can just go. Because it was super sunny yesterday. But today, this is more my speed. This is where I can really get into it with y'all. Man, it feels good to be back. It feels good to be back. But anyway, I'm going to stop this episode right here. Again, I want to thank y'all so much for holding on to listening to my podcast, asking me when I'm coming back, because baby, I'm back. And please, if you want me to like talk about some topics, please go ahead and send them to my DM, send them to my comments, and just know I do try to answer DMs, but if the DM is like, oh, hey, sexy, I'm not answering you straight up. And then some of the DMs do get filtered, so I don't end up seeing people's DMs. So I'm not just ignoring you. Unless you was on some hey sexy type stuff, yeah, you got ignored. But if you trying to actually reach me and, give some topic you want to talk about and I don't respond, it's just because like the DMs filter to where you won't even see them. You have to go on a whole nother thing to see the hidden ones. So yeah. But again, y'all, I really appreciate you guys. I'm coming back consistent. We got an episode coming every week. And it just feels so good to be back. But hopefully y'all took heed to that message. Get on your stuff. Don't wait. Don't wait. Start where you at. Be perfectly happy where you at and be comfortable where you at. Because the thing is, with progress, you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. And that somewhere may not be the prettiest place or the most comfortable, but it's not meant to be. It's time to propel, baby. But anyway, y'all, I'll catch y'all next week. Oh, it feels so good to be back, y'all. I love y'all so much. Make sure y'all stay. I don't smoke, but if you smoke, do what you do. You be high. Stay strapped up because it's crazy out here. And until next time. See, I'm trying to end this. I'm trying to get back in the rhythm. Until next time, I'll see y'all on the next episode of I Like It Raw. Okay, baby. Stay tuned.